Hey, good afternoon, my friends. This is Patrick Allmond from StopDoingNothing.com. And as always, I love to get right into the meat of things. And if you are watching this on iTunes, first of all, I want to make sure you subscribe and rate. And one of the things you miss by watching this on iTunes and not seeing it live is the fact that I'm wearing a Stop Doing Nothing t-shirt here. So if you ever want one of these, just let me know. I've got a guy here locally makes them. They're really cool, and I wear them all the time to remind me to get my butt in gear. Just by having that in front of my eyes all the time reminds me that, you know what, I really have to stop wasting time because time is limited. Okay, the topic for today is 5 ways you can waste, 5 amazing, great ways you can waste time in your business today. And if you're a small business owner, or even a medium business owner, you know there's 100 things you can do in your business every single day, from washing the toilets to scrubbing the floors to working on the counters to working on your website. All these amazing things, and then oftentimes as an entrepreneur, you get really busy and you wonder, you get the I call busy work. You get all these tasks on your plate, and you're busy from the moment you get there at 7 o'clock in the moment to when you go home at 7 o'clock at night, and you get towards the end of the day and you're wondering, how come I don't have any more clients, or how come the phone didn't ring, or how come I didn't have any deposits in the bank. So I'm going to talk to you today. I know it sounds negative, but I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways you can waste time in your business today, 5 amazing ways you can waste time, and then 5 ways you can start making the phone ring, or you can start getting people to email you or call you or text you when it comes to generating new revenue. And if you're watching live on the Stop Doing Nothing fan page, make sure you drop a comment below about where you're watching from and some other ways you've seen, some other great ways you've seen to waste on time. And as always, if you're on iTunes, leave comments or subscribe and rate wherever you're watching this online, because I would love your feedback on all these shows. Plus, if you ever have any questions for me as a topic for a future show, I want to know that also, so I can definitely cover those. So 5 great ways you can waste time in your business today. And I'm sure some of you have run into this before. The first one right here is go on social media and schedule some posts. We always hear about how social media is so important, and we have to be on social media all the time. Hey, darling Sierra out of Oregon, I'd love to see you tune in. We're always told that we need to be on social media all the time. We need to schedule social media posts. We need to be posting pictures and posting videos. And by the way, really quick, a disclaimer on these items. These are things that I think have to be done, but they are things that either should be delegated to an assistant as soon as possible, or they are things that need to be very low on the priority list. So one of them is out there scheduling social media posts. I see a lot of people, when in the interest of generating content or generating traffic or generating interaction, going out there and working on scheduling a lot of social media posts. And I'm always out there for scheduling social media posts. But it's one of those things that can be busy work that really doesn't generate a lot of leads or generate a lot coming in the door. We all need to be generating content. We all need to be talking about our businesses on social media. However, working really hard on scheduling social media posts when you don't have the money coming in, you don't have the bank deposits coming in, the phone's not ringing, and you're not making outbound calls, that's a complete waste of time and should be delegated as more of a lower priority item. So if you ever get really busy scheduling social media posts and the phone isn't ringing or the email list isn't building, you need to put that social media stuff aside. It'll be there. It never goes away, or find a way to delegate that to an assistant whenever possible. So, you know me, I love social media. People call me a social media fanatic or a social media expert, but sometimes that stuff needs to be put on standby. So it's okay, for example, if your fan page doesn't get updated for a couple of days or a week or a month sometime. You know what? You can tell people, when people complain that your social media isn't getting updated, but yet you've got money coming in the bank and your bank account's building and your funnel's building, you know what? Who really cares if your social media page gets updated? People were running a business 20 years ago and didn't have a social media page updated. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, blogging. We all hear how we have to blog, generate new content, generate new content. Writing a blog post is good for SEO. Writing a blog post is good to keep your website updated because Google focuses on things that are recent and relevant. Thank you, Sierra. Yes, delegate. Some things are better done by other people. So if you're really focusing hard on getting a blog post done or 3 blog posts done, or 5 blog posts done and your phone isn't ringing, guess what? Your blog can wait. Organic SEO traffic is always going to be there, and eventually I think, yes, you should get blogging done, but I think there are better ways to do it. And for example, I will tell you right now that I am a horrible writer. My grammar sucks. My spelling is pathetic sometimes. And so when I say writing a blog post, I'm not actually sometimes talking about sitting down with a keyboard and peck, peck, peck typing. As you can see, I love video and I love to talk about my content and marketing and digital marketing tactics. However, me actually sitting down and writing a blog post would take me, for 5 paragraphs, for example, would probably take me about 2 hours to crank that out. And it's a complete waste of time when the phone isn't ringing. So that's number 2 right there. If you really want to waste good time, get yourself into some busy work, write a new blog post. Okay. Number 3, start tweaking your website. I know sometimes you feel like, oh, you know what, if I tweak this one thing on my website, it would be more attractive. If I tweak these colors or replace this button, or, oh, you know what I got to do? I got to go shopping for a new WordPress theme, because you know what? I don't like my WordPress theme, and that's probably not the reason I'm getting business. I got to go shop for a whole new WordPress theme. Then install that and tweak that and play with the colors and get a web designer. You know what? I'm all for a good-looking website. But again, if the phone isn't ringing, you don't need to be spending time, flipping these levers and checking these check boxes and moving the sidebar from here to here, or playing with the sidebar widgets, or trying to get all the right links in the footer. You know what I'm talking about? You can get into your website. We work on WordPress. You can get to the back end of your website. You can flip levers and tweak and play with colors and palettes and do right images and sliders and all that stuff all day long. And completely piss away your day. Now, again, don't get me wrong. I want you to have a good-looking website, but I'm sure you've seen some other people out there who have websites who don't necessarily aren't the greatest in the world, but they get clients. And that also goes true for when you see a website, or when you look at your website and you think, hey, I don't have that many pages. Maybe I should put some more menu options up there. Maybe I should, in addition to home, I should have my speaking and my services and 10 drop downs underneath my services, and contact us. And the contact page should have 5 different ways to contact me. And I should install WooCommerce, and I should list all these things I sell and connect that to my merchant account. I mean, there are some ways here to get tied up really great when it comes to playing with your website, and it feels productive. It feels like, you spend 2 or 3 hours on your website and you're feeling like, oh, I got a ton done. This is great. My website looks so much better. But you know what? In those 3 hours, you haven't added anything to your CRM and your phone hasn't rang. So when you're tempted to piss away your day tweaking your website, we're going to cover the 5 things you should be doing instead of that. So please try to get out of that habit of just playing with your website. It's happened to me. I've done it. WordPress is a great tool. It's also a great time suck. Focusing on listening and watching other people's content instead of doing the things that actually generate business. And for this one, I wrote down, listen to 2 hours of podcasts on marketing. If you want something that feels really productive, like the website thing, is to pop open iTunes and go find some good podcasts on marketing and listen to those for 2 hours and think, you know what, I got a lot done today. And I love learning from other people. I love subscribing to certain people on YouTube. I love various podcasts. I'm sure Sierra can even link to some of them here. We both enjoy some of the same podcasts. However, it's not the replacement for work. And what I like to do is I like to block my time off. So during a week, I have a certain amount of time set aside for listening and educating myself. And oftentimes what I'll do is I'll do that stuff when I'm walking or jogging or exercising or after hours. But when you're in that 9 to 5 grind, when you're trying to generate leads, it doesn't help your business directly at that point in time to be pissing away your highly productive time when your leads are at their desks. It doesn't really help you just to burn away some time. Hey, Ben, where are you tuning in from? Man, what part of the world are you tuning in from? And I appreciate you watching. But spending all that time reading marketing blog posts or watching marketing YouTube videos or listening to podcasts, it doesn't make the phone ring. So this more than the other ones. This one, number 4, listening to 2 hours of education. Block off some time every week in your calendar to educate yourself, or choose to do a time on that on weekend. Wake up earlier than your family on a Saturday or Sunday morning and say, hey, for an hour or two, I am going to educate myself. And other than that, during the week, I'm going to, I'm not going to try to listen to podcasts unless I'm doing something that's not prime work time. And by the way, for those of you watching live, do me a favor and drop a comment as to what country you're from. And from Morocco, man, we're international, man. I appreciate you. Drop a comment there below as to what you do in Morocco. Man, that's great. That's awesome to hear. I appreciate you. So again, time block. If you're going to educate yourself, I want to make sure I get on the 5 things you should be doing as soon as possible. Educate yourself. Try to do that on the weekend, maybe exercise time. But remember, you've only got a prime time to reach your clients. So if you're right in the middle of the day, like 9 to 11, when your clients are at their desk and you're listening to podcasts, man, that's not necessarily the best of your time right there, okay? So again, I'm for education, but we've only got a finite amount of time during the day. And the last one, before we cover the 5 things you should do, the last of the 5 great ways to waste your time is to get into political fights on social media. And again, when I list these things here, these are things I've listed because I've done them. And it's very easy in this political climate these days to someone tweets out something on Twitter about Trump or Pence or Clinton or a local politician or yada yada big government, yada yada police, yada yada racism, yada yada sexism, and you'll see that not only on Twitter, you'll see that on Facebook. We're constantly getting into online battles about sex, sexism, racism, religion, politics. And when you are an entrepreneur, when you are a small business owner, you need to when you are in the prime of the day and you are focusing on generating leads in your business, you need to ignore all those fights, all those arguments, and put them aside and focus on what it takes to grow your business and serve your clients the best. There are plenty of people out there to argue about, politics on politics on social media, and those fights never get resolved. Those are fights that are going to be ongoing forever. And what I've noticed, and for my watchers, my viewers who have been on social media for any point of time whatsoever, is very few arguments are resolved on social media. There's a popular comic book out there of like a wife who's trying to go to bed late at night, and she's standing at the door. You've seen this one? She's standing at the door, and her husband's on the internet. And she's like, honey, come to bed. He's like, wait, I can't come to bed yet. Someone's wrong on the internet. I mean, that's true 24 hours a day. There's a constant stream of tweets and social media updates, tweets and Facebook updates about political stuff. And it's very tempted when it's Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock, prime working time for you, that someone tweets something about something or other, and you just, oh, you're wrong, blah, 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 blah. Or same thing on Facebook. You got to respond because you know they're wrong, and you got to set them right. Again, you're in prime marketing time for your business. So you have to put that stuff aside, maybe save it for after hours, and just not pay attention to it. So let's recap the 5 ways we can waste time, and then I'm going to get into the 5 things I want you to do. First of all, number 1 was get on social media and schedule some more social media posts. Great looking for content, not great for generating leads. Number 2, write a new blog post. Great for content, great for SEO, not good for generating leads. Number 3, tweak the colors on your website, or the content on your website, or the slider or the images on your website. Not great for leads. Hey, Ben, I see your comments down there. Keep them coming, man. I appreciate you. And by the way, if you're also watching this live, do me a favor and share this with some friends if you could. Let's invite them to the conversation too, because I'm getting ready to go to the 5 things I want you to do to start making the phone ring more. Number 4, listen to 2 hours of podcasts in the middle of prime time. Your prime work day, not a good idea. 5, go reply and get involved in some social media conversations on social media during the prime time. Again, these are things that can be done, just not during that prime 8 to 5 time when you have to make the phone ring. Okay, now let's get into the 5 things you can do immediately. You can do these today. You can do these as soon as you get done listening to my content, to help make the phone ring, or help fill the funnel, or help add some more context to your CRM. Okay, what's the first thing you could do? I used to have a yellow pages underneath my desk. I don't anymore. But if you're someone who provides local services, you can pick up the yellow pages. Yes, it's still it still exists, the big, giant, thick yellow pages. You can pick up the yellow pages and start flipping through there and finding businesses that you can talk to who you think are doing crappy marketing. It's not hard. You know why? Because the people in yellow pages, and I swear I've done this, if someone has a big page, this is the ones I really like, people that have like a full page, if you're working marketing like I do, people that have like a full page ad, they've been sold on that by yellow pages, and that may not be the best use of their money. So there's always a chance that when you're a service-oriented business like I am, to pick up the yellow pages, the good old phone, pick up yellow pages, get on your cell phone, and start calling some of these businesses and just posing a very simple question. You don't want to engage right then there in a sales conversation. I'd say you want to ask a better time to get them on the phone. But man, the yellow pages is still out there, and it's still a great source of leads if you use it right. If you're a good phone salesperson right there. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. Sharing it and commenting and stuff. Keep them coming. Okay, so pick up the yellow pages. Start smiling and dialing, as they say. The people that, there's a really good friend of mine, Sean Rhodes, who every single week is smiling and dialing, and his CRM is constantly getting filled up. And that kind of scares some people, but I promise you that once you kind of get into the mode of calling, and you realize, number one, that most people are going to say no, 80% of people are going to say no, but 20% are going to say yes, you realize that, you know what, it still can be a very effective form of communication. And by the way, one of the reasons when I get into smiling and dialing mode, one of the reasons I really like it is because the feedback is immediate. I don't have to fill out someone's contact form. I don't have to email them. I don't have to text them. I can get the right person on the phone, and they can tell me, yes, I might need your services. Let's call at a different time. Or no, I don't need anything from you at all. Let's never talk again. Immediate feedback. So pick up the phone, smile and dial. If you've got an email list, email your list a broadcast of some sort, very helpful information with a call to action at the end. I'm not a fan of newsletters. This is a blanket statement, so it may apply in your industry, but if you sell any kind of service or product, you should not be doing a newsletter type email, which basically says, here's some information with no links whatsoever. Here's a broadcast. Here's some information. I like emails that basically are informative, but also push people to a call to action. So if you're a service-oriented business, I will be putting 2 to 3 links in your email that say, if you want to know more about this service, or if you want us to help your business, click here, and it takes them to a page where they can call you or buy something. Same thing if you're selling a product. You push people to buy the thing, push people to take some kind of action. I am a big fan of every email, and every web page should have a CTA at the end, call to action. That needs to be something that becomes in your vocabulary and all your marketing. So whether or not you're doing a video like I am, I'm going to have a call to action at the end, or you're doing a podcast, or you're doing a blog post, or you're doing other things, you always want a call to action at the end. And I don't know the psychological reason why. I believe the why, though, is, this is Patrick's completely amateur scientific determination, that when people get to the end of something, whether it's a blog post or a video, they have no idea what to do next. So in our world of distraction, they're going to watch another video, they're going to click another tab, they're going to go do something unless we tell them what to go do. So get used to, at the end of all of your content, having a call to action in there. It could be a big red button that says buy now. It could be a big red button that says learn more or call me. Always focus on the call to action, my friends. Yes, Sierra put it very, very wisely down here. Go for no. You should be losing 50% of the people you talk to because they're the wrong fit. Great words, lady. I appreciate you. Okay, so number 2 was email your list, pushing people with a call to action. Number 3 is kind of along that lines, but for people that have more advanced marketing systems, more advanced marketing automation systems. And the reason I thought about this one is because I use Infusionsoft. And as much as I do email broadcasts on occasion, what's better when you have a piece of software that is more focused on marketing campaigns, what's better than email broadcast is kicking off a marketing campaign. So for example, one of the things I'm working on right now in my Infusionsoft system is an email series where the first email goes out and the software waits a day, and then second email, third, fourth, fifth, with a day pause in between. And the goal of that marketing campaign is to get someone to click inside the email, and then the marketing automation takes over and tags them appropriately. So it's better than a single broadcast, and you pre-configure it all ahead of time, but sometimes you have to hit people up with a message multiple times. And just about every single piece of marketing email software these days allows campaigns. I know MailChimp does, I know ActiveCampaign does, and obviously I'm a big user of Infusionsoft. I know that does. Salesforce, any kind of small business really should not be using Salesforce. That's my personal opinion. But my whole point is an email marketing campaign is better than a one-off email. There are times for a one-off broadcast email, but if you can, set up things in terms of marketing campaigns. You still want that call to action at the end, but you also want that campaign to be goal-oriented. And the reason I say that, here's the bigger reason, is because all of your marketing should be goal-oriented, and all of your marketing should be campaign-based. You have to get away from this thing where you wake up Tuesday morning, you just throw some crap against the wall, and hey, hopefully I get business. No, you need to wake up, like what are we at right now? We're in August of 2018. You need to wake up, let's say the last week of July, and say, okay, what am I going to market for the entire month of August? What's my August campaign? Think of all of your marketing in terms of campaigns, and then that will then flow back to your email marketing software where you can structure everything there as a campaign. And by the way, again, for those of you tuning in live, tag someone who needs to hear this, share this broadcast. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. If it doesn't have a purpose, it isn't really marketing. Great words right there. Okay. So number 3 was start a marketing campaign inside your email marketing software, not just a one-off broadcast. Number 4, and this applies to those of you, because I have a lot of friends who follow me that are fellow professional speakers. Go find 5 events that need speakers, and this takes a lot of work sometimes, I've noticed, but Google is your friend, and you can easily go out and find 5 events that are in your niche that might need speakers, and do the research to find the person that is the decision maker for that event. And how do you find 5 events? You first of all, you should have some kind of Google Alerts set up for your industry. You might want to have some Google Alerts set up for people that speak on the same topics you do, so they can see what you're speaking at. Or you just start getting on Google and researching events in your area that, hey, Angie, I appreciate you tuning in. Or you just start researching events in your area or even outside of your area that pertain exactly to your industry niche. Here's something else you can do, which some speakers may find controversial, but I'm sorry, it works. If you see a management speaker, someone who you're a big fan of, speaking at an event, research that event and see who their decision maker is and when their next conference is. There are plenty of times where I see other social media speakers or other marketing technology speakers speaking at an event, and that is kind of a lead for me. I have no problem if a good friend of mine spoke at an event this year and I want to speak at the same event next year or 2 or 3 years down the line. It's filling up my CRM, and all you need to do is research that event. You'll eventually, on almost every event that has speakers, way down at the bottom, you'll either find a call for speakers link or speaker info link or some kind of email address. That's all you need is an email address. And you can get that inside your CRM and email the person. And their first question should be, who is the right person to contact that hires the speakers for your events? You do that, and hopefully they're going to either reply back and you're going to get a definite name that says this is the person that hires a speaker for the events, or you're going to get a referral to the person who hires a speaker for your events. You can do that today. You can go find 5 events that need speakers today. And what you'll end up doing is you'll find 10 events. You'll have trouble getting the contact information, but eventually you'll find 5. You'll email them. Hopefully they'll reply back and say, oh, you know what, we just had our event, but we'll get you on the list for the RFP for next year's event, and the RFP will be in 8 months. Bam, you drop that inside your CRM, and you set a follow-up date in there, and then maybe if it's 8 months down the line, maybe about 6 to 7 months down the line from now, you start pinging them just to make sure that you're still on their radar. But you do that every week. You get 5 new events inside your CRM every week, and you know what? After a month, you've got 20 events, and 5 events is not hard to get. It really isn't. So number 4 was find 5 events where you could speak at if you're a professional speaker. Oh, and the last one here, number 5, is, of course, you should have a database, or you should know who your previous customers are. If you need revenue right now, or you need an easy way to do marketing right now, call 5 old customers who have already spent money with you. I use Infusionsoft, for example, and every single time someone spends money with me, I log it inside my Infusionsoft system. So I can go inside there right now, and I can see people who have spent $500, people have spent $5,000 with me, and all that's in there. I can ping them and say, hey, we haven't talked in a while. How is your business going? Could you use this? And this applies to all of you that are service-based businesses or speakers. Speaking is a service-based business, but you can hit up 5 old customers and see if you can upsell them on something, see if they need some kind of maintenance contract or updating of what you worked on before, see if there's some way that you can expand their business horizontally or vertically. I mean, there's a variety of ways, but the nice part about that is those people that you have that have spent money with you in the past, they already love you, and they've already spent money with you, so they're almost like warm contacts versus the other ones I said, the Yellow Pages people, and well, so actually 2 of these, so 1, 2, so 3 of these are actually dealing. I just realized 3 of these are to deal with warm contacts who are already likely to buy from you. And 2 of these deal with cold contacts. So picking up the Yellow Pages and going and finding 5 speakers, 5 events that need speakers, those are ways to start with new cold traffic. But emailing your list one-off, putting people into a marketing campaign from your email list, and calling 5 old customers, those are actually dealing with people who already know, like, and trust you and are going to be more likely to buy from you. Those are the kind of people you eventually want to deal with. So I hope this has been useful. For those of you that are listening on iTunes, do me a favor and subscribe and rate the podcast. I really appreciate you. And for those of you on iTunes that are listening, that are already on iTunes, you might also go follow the fan page. The fan page is Patrick Allmond, Stop Doing Nothing. And if you have other kind of questions about digital marketing, do me a favor, either leave a comment here or visit my website, StopDoingNothing.com, and click on the contact page. Drop me a contact and let's talk about how we can really improve your business in digital marketing. My business, Focus Digital Marketing, focuses on lead generation, paid advertising, email marketing. I'm a huge Infusionsoft fan. Everything in the digital marketing space, I do keynote speaking on, and my company does actually monthly support and helps small businesses generate more leads. So if this information has been useful for you and you want us to use some of this information to help generate some more leads for your business, like I said, visit StopDoingNothing.com, fill out a contact form, and one of our very smart people will give you a call back and see how we can start generating some more leads for your business. As always, subscribe, rate, follow, tweet, Facebook, comment, all those things you do to show that whether or not the content was useful. And if you want me to cover a particular digital marketing piece, marketing topic in more detail, either leave a comment below or private message me on Facebook. And as always, to tell you the truth, I don't mind giving you out the business number. You can text us at 405-251-2022. You can call us or text us any kind of topic you want us to cover, and we'll be glad to cover that for you in a future video. Okay? Hope this has been useful. For those of you that tuned in live and commented, thank you for participating. I really appreciate you. Looks like we went at just about 28.5 minutes. You have a great Friday. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.